I'm sure you already know Jay Berube. He's been on multiple of these podcast episodes. He is my go-to expert inside of the world of property management and AI, and a good friend of mine. Obviously, we are partnered in this AI Alliance thing. Jay and I, at the end of NARPM Broker Owner, caught up with each other and had a jam session on how much has AI evolved since the last time that we put something out there for it, right? Like we had this AI Summit with this AI Alliance, then we hosted this AI Pavilion at NARPM Broker Owner, and this is a distillation of exactly where AI is and how people are using it today based on the hundreds of conversations that each of us had at NARPM Broker Owner. So this is what we are affectionately calling the Q2 2025 State of AI in Property Management report /podcast/conversation. Enjoy. Welcome to the Property Management Frame Breakers podcast. I'm your host, Pablo Gonzalez, and I am here to introduce you to the folks in the property management space that have broken the frame of what you may believe was possible. This podcast is presented by Vendoroo. It is your all-in-one AI solution for resolving your maintenance needs. Let's go. We have spent the last 24 hours within the walls of the AI Pavilion, just a massive flow of human traffic through this room. You have been like the guide, right? Like you're taking people through the report, you're talking about AI integration. How is from last time that we were together at Nationals to now, the conversation around AI and how it's changed? Give me like a from to of like, it went from to where we're at right now.
Absolutely. So where we were at was generative AI and maybe the microscopic bits of agentic AI. Yeah. But now what we're seeing at this conference is if you're not talking to strategic partners or vendors about their AI roadmap, then those vendors are going to be out of business quickly. And then also the property manager is going to have a bad stack. Because what we've seen is never mind from Nationals to now, but in the past 10 years, the amount of change that we've seen in the past 10 years is not even close to what we've seen in the past 1 year.
Interesting.
It has been really game-changing. And efficiency, companies that are not running highly efficient, or at least have a roadmap to do so, are going to be struggling.
You talk a lot about efficiency these days and building an AI efficient company. Give it to me in the scope of that, like the 10 years prior, what efficiency meant and what efficiency means right now. How is it different?
Yeah, so there was always this conversation for the past few years about fee maxing, right?
Yeah.
And then hiring remote team members, right? Increasing your income or decreasing expenses. Traditionally, that's the only way people thought about profit.
Yeah.
So I started challenging that thought when we started seeing AI and what it can do in our business. Yeah. I'm the kind of guy I like to brush my teeth in the shower because I save a couple of seconds.
Me too,
right?
And shave.
Yeah, okay,
shave in the shower 100%.
I do that too, same time actually.
No, well, that's
Except one time I got it wrong. Shave my tongue.
At least you didn't put the shaving cream in the toothbrush. That's the worst.
Yeah. We've seen the old way of looking at profit is increase income or decrease expenses. But now with the emergence of AI, this is the new profitability is going to be measured by efficiency. And that comes only in two ways.
Yeah.
People or process. The systems that you have and the way that you do business and the people that you have doing that. And that's why I love Agentic AI and what Vendoroo's doing and Aptly and some of these other companies with AI agents.
How does Agentic AI fit into the equation of what you just said?
Train once, scale forever.
Yeah.
Don't make any mistakes.
I like the idea of grow without growing headcount. To me is Agentic AI, right? Like grow your business without growing headcount. To me feels like exactly what this Agentic AI thing is going to be doing.
Pablo, you're going to timestamp this video, right?
Sure.
Okay, good. Well,
all you got to say is JP. JP, cut this part out. Go ahead.
Okay. No. I want the video timestamped so that we know today on March 26th.
Got it.
I said it first that you're going to see a new org chart. And this is something that we've been putting together, which is called the Fusion org chart.
Okay.
Because there was this shift of when we were decreasing expenses as property managers where we needed to start hiring, cheaper labor.
Yeah.
And, hey, come to find out, there's other countries where you can have 3 team members for the price of 1. That was a huge mindset shift for most business owners. And that's just the first iteration. And now the next iteration is Agentic AI and working with your remote team members. So instead of having the old days, right, 10, 15 years ago, of a company that was built on a portfolio manager managing 100, 150 doors, being the jack of all trades, oh my God, like if you're still doing that, God bless you, okay? Because that is a burnout. But now we're able to see escalation managers as remote team members. So we have a remote team member hiring service as well. And what we've recently seen is we have 3 levels of talent, and the level 1 is the entry level. We're placing a lot fewer of those because we're seeing Agentic AI replace. We're seeing businesses run more efficiently. Like, I get excited about that stuff.
Man, yeah, super exciting. A couple of things come to mind as you say all this stuff, right? Like it feels like the fee maxing, all that stuff, the wayfinding post has been revenue per house, like revenue per door, right? And I feel like we're going to move into some new KPIs that are much more about profitability per employee or revenue per employee. And those revenue numbers are going to become astronomical, right? Like the amount of value that one person is going to be able to provide to the market, empowered by AI agents as their country of geniuses that works for each person in your company, is going to completely break the frame of like how big you can grow with this type of stuff. And as you're saying this org chart, the idea of the C-team remote workers, right? Like the entry-level remote workers being replaced by AI.
Well, to be clear, they're not C-team when we place them. We place,
not you.
We place A teams.
Yeah, but at entry-level.
Entry-level types of positions, like general admin and that type of stuff.
Got it. So anyway, the positions that anybody can kind of do being replaced by agents, and then this new role that is the escalation role, not the doer, but the decider of when the AI has reached its limitation of what it can deliver for someone, and when it's time to be the most human person ever. Feels like a very natural role. What other roles are you seeing that is in this new modern work chart?
I'll tell you, really what I've been impressed with is AI maintenance, AI leasing, and AI communication to tenants and sometimes to owners, but you have to have really a more sophisticated package, to do it to communicate with the owners.
Yeah.
So those are some of the ones I've seen customer facing.
Yeah.
But we just launched our own AI.
Yeah. Tell me about Betty.
BetterWHO?
Yeah.
She's the only woman that I look at every day, other than my beautiful wife.
Okay, go on.
And some would say that Betty looks like Jessica, which actually I modeled Betty off of. Okay. But then Jessica said, I looked at her, she looks like my mom. I said, we're going to leave
We're not going to touch that one.
We're not going to touch that one, no.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of AI, Agentic AI in property management that focuses on servicing the customer. But there hasn't been, up until now, any AI that can actually help the property manager in their business. So Betty documents your policies and procedures and the way that you do business.
How does that work? How do you document your policies and procedures with Betty?
Great question. So there's, first of all, there's this problem that existed 10 years ago, right? And it hasn't gotten any better over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's documenting the way that you do business.
It's cumbersome.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And most property managers don't have the time. It feels overwhelming. Yeah. So none of this is documented. And what Betty does is we've been in coaching and consulting for over a decade, and we've built out, I think, over 1,500 questions with conditional logic that just guides the property manager through documenting the way they do business. So they'll just hop on and Betty will say, hey, you ready to get started? Which policy you want to work on? Yeah. And let's say it's owner and unit onboarding. She'll ask, what type of properties do you accept? And do you accept tenant-occupied properties? If so, do you charge a fee for that? And if so, what do you require and how much is that fee if you do? And if you say no, then she goes on to the next.
Are you having is this a voice conversation? Is this a text conversation? How does the interface look like?
Right now text, but it'll be voice.
Text. So you're like texting with a friend and your friend is asking you all the right questions and you're answering. Yeah. And soon you'll be able to do it via voice, which is the next natural progression.
Yeah, exactly. You just pick up your phone and be like, Betty, how do I do this again?
Yeah. That is so that's one of the things that we've learned at Vendoroo is this idea that if it doesn't function the way that a teammate functions, you're just buying you're buying a SaaS tool. You're not really buying Agentic. So instead of having to input work tickets or go to your developer and say, I would like to request this feature, these set of tools. Is that how you speak to your developers? This is how I talk to developers. These tools need to work the same way that you're talking to an employee, right? Like, it's like, I know that my remote teammate, like when I see him doing something, I was like, hey, saw that email, next time maybe talk, like that person I have this relationship with. So just remember to like refer to them this way or whatnot, right? So like this idea of being able to talk to these AI agents, and by speaking to them, they are continually getting better and becoming another you is so crucial to it, right? Because if we have this friction where we're dealing with like a tech piece, most humans are just not going to be able to adopt it, right? So I love the idea of your friend who is just asking you about the processes that you need to document and just talking to him like someone.
And everything you just said screams efficiency.
100%.
And imagine if you don't have to tell somebody twice, and if you don't have to go back and fix someone's mistakes all the time. And trust me, we're not looking to put remote team members out of a job. But at the same time, they have to have the tools. So we launched AI certified remote team members. So that's
tell me about
second
that.
aspect.
Tell me about the AI certified remote team maker. Is that so? This to me is very real. Every company needs an AI integrator, right? Like if you're this, kind of. I'm gonna mention Gary Vee, right? But like Gary Vee at one point was like, dude, the head of the company needs to be making content. This is your job to make content. I think right now, head of the company, like you need to have, if you don't, and then there's you make a content department so that it enables you. I think if you're not the head of the company that's super already immersing yourself in AI, you need to create that role that becomes so immersed in AI that allows you to just like know somebody is owning that. Is that what you're talking about, like an AI integrator for somebody?
Well, actually, I'm talking about a couple different things here. So based on what you were just saying, it's this perfect storm. An AI integrator is going to be somebody who integrates AI throughout your company and also does your process architecture and all that. But the business owner has to be the visionary, because if you're incorporating AI into your business, well, this is just another thing. It's just another efficiency tool, but everything is changing, so you have to have the owner involved to actually be able to see the vision.
100%.
But you have to also, in order to do that, and for the owner to have time, the team members need to be autonomous.
Yes.
They need to be able to develop as leaders. So that's why we develop those curriculums so that they can learn tools that are going to help them self-onboard and create skill sets that are going to make them more efficient and valuable to the company. Documenting the SOPs, just not even with Betty, but even using tools like Scribe or Loom.
How do you create an AI certified teammate?
Well, I mean, I've been doing AI. It's like it's like when you go to a restaurant. It's like, I'm gonna do the hamburger. It's like, you'd like to order it, wouldn't you? But no, I've been teaching AI and just diving deep for the past couple of years, and honestly, it was kind of simple to build the course for the remote team members, because what we know is that typically the property management company doesn't have great onboarding for their team members. So we really needed, we identified all the problems, and then we made sure we incorporated that into the course.
So it's an onboarding process that takes into the account the idea that part of your onboarding needs to be to make you AI super fluent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they take probably about 16 hours total. I mean, it takes them 3 days to go through the AI certification, but it's not like super intense. It's not rocket science, but I mean, these are people that, they need these skills anyway. No matter who you are, if you're in a working in your business type of situation, you have to have AI efficiency or else you get left behind.
How many hours did you say?
How many hours what?
You said it's like a certain amount of hours that they're going through it?
Yeah, 16 hours, but it typically takes people 3 days to go through.
I mean, how many people out there have spent 16 hours looking at AI, learning AI solutions? It's you, it's me, it's maybe 10% of the people in this room have exactly spent 16 hours on that, right? So like
I spent probably about 16,000.
Of course, you
hours.
have. You're the 10,000 hours guy, right?
And then just to have like this, all of it just boiled down into what they need. It's it's been a winner.
Correct. So like you've made that piece efficient. You've given them the 16 hours that is based on 16,000 hours of knowledge and like your iterations of learning it. And everybody needs. I would say that you have a product on your hands, right? Like you have the AI certified teammate that you can give, but I think there's extreme value in the IP of like, how do you train your staff to become AI fluent, right? So that onboarding piece that you're talking about, I think has real legs of, man, I'm a 1,000-person PM company, a thousand unit PM company. I have 40 employees. I need my employees to every single one of them to take this, right? So like I think what you're right now, you have the turnkey solution, but I think the do it yourself solution is equally important for like, I think, again, $1,000 PM. I've got 40 employees. That's worth $5,000 to me just to take that course and have my team trained, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer, and it's the only one in the industry, just like Betty, the AI coach.
Yeah.
But thinking of people efficiency, a lot of business owners that we take on in our coaching programs, what they typically think they need is not always the thing that you think you need, right? I mean, it's the thing that you want.
That happens to other people too?
I know, right? It's like, it's the thing you want. Like, I want to add more doors. I get it. And, there's a lot of things I want too. Yeah. But right now, what you need to do is take your medicine. You actually need to do a time study. Yeah. Because we find most business owners are distracted, putting out fires. Yeah. They don't get to the focus time of working on the business to move their business forward, which henceforth why they need an AI efficient company. Yeah. And they also need to create efficiencies in themselves, or at least disciplines of knowing where are you spending your time and how do you focus that on what really matters.
If you understand that change is coming, and AI is this giant industrial revolution, you're gonna wanna work with a company that is AI by DNA. And that, my friend, is Vendoroo. We are a native agentic AI solution built from the ground up with this assumption that the AI future is here. And what Vendoroo does, it is able to handle 80 to 85% of all maintenance work orders from beginning to end, while elevating that extra 15 to 20% so that you can actually take care of it. And most importantly, just getting you out of the grind and the forever firefight of maintenance so you can do other things. Like one of our clients hired Vendoroo.ai, and within 6 months, the amount of time that saved her from maintenance, she dedicated herself to business development. She started adding 10 doors a month over the last 6 months. It's been 60 new doors. It's been a huge change, huge growth for her business, way more profitable. So if you want to do that, you want to get yourself out of the mundane, get your team out of the mundane, let them focus on stuff that really, really matters. Go to Vendoroo.ai, book a demo with us, and we would love to help you build an agentic AI property management business. Vendoroo.ai, book a demo. Enjoy the rest of the show. I heard you talking about that in Charleston, and it really hit home in that room. The whole idea of before you go out and buy the new shiny thing, I saw you talk people through this, right? Like one guy was thinking that the one thing that he wanted was X. Then you talk them through this framework of this like time study to then prioritize correctly, and you realize at the end of the day it was Y, right? Like I thought that was super powerful. And as you are speaking, I'm like, does Betty help people do time studies? Can we create an agent that helps you do time studies? That sounds like a good product.
It sounds like a great idea, and it doesn't seem like much of a lift, so you might be onto something.
You're welcome, dude. I just want us sharing that revenue.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting because we've been doing placing remote team members for about 10 years now, and that's probably only 20% of our business, and it's changing because there's not many consultants, or at least consultants with a process that can focus and dive deep on, like you said. Where do you want to go, and why do you want to get there? And if somebody doesn't have any motivation, I was having dinner with somebody last night, and they have 2 kids. He's mid-60s. He wants to create a legacy plan. So he's like, but I just can't get my head up long enough to teach the kids, and then they just keep asking me things, and I was like, whoa. I'm like, but what do they want? And what do you want for them? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, wouldn't it be nice if you did? Maybe if you asked them and pulled them aside, had a conversation. I said, better yet, this is what you're gonna do. I said, you're gonna get in your car. Do you like camping? He said, yeah, we love camping. I said, fantastic. You're gonna take one of your kids for a weekend, no phones, only one rule. no expectations. You go up there, you get to just be you, engage, and then ask some open questions, some real questions about like, hey, what do you want in life?
Yeah.
You know, like really get deep. And then you'll find out what your kid wants.
Yeah.
And then let's say, and then you know what? He wants to retire in 4 years, the dad. So I said, this is the next step. Simple. You just get a clock and have that clock counting backwards from the day you want to retire.
Yeah.
And then that's going to burn every day. It's going to motivate you every single day. And your kids then just reverse engineer the map. It's like, all right, cool. So if you're going to be there in 4 years, right? Because we know that's my clock.
Yeah.
So in 4 years, this is what you would need to do. So let's look at what you need to do in the next year and in the next 90 days. Yeah. And then just lead your kids because you know what they want. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So
that's leadership, right? Like is understanding the person that you are dealing with, what they want, aligning incentive, like aligning with where they want to go and where you want to go, finding ways to do it together and contextualizing that way and keeping them accountable. That's leadership.
Now ready? I'm gonna roll all of that back right into efficiency.
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. Because if he didn't have the capacity to have the intentionality to take his kids 3 days each, then he would not be able to do that.
Totally.
Yeah, you have to create efficiencies.
I think capacity is the name of the game, right? Like efficiency is the thing that happens, but the outcome is capacity, right? Like you create this efficiency in your business, right? Like when we talk
the outcome's capacity.
The outcome is capacity, right? The outcome is capacity, right? Like when we talk to clients and we're like, our clients, we do like 80 to 85% of their maintenance. They don't even think about it, right? Like Aaron Ivey is out here telling people how many hours a day do you spend thinking about maintenance or working on maintenance? He's like, I spend 30 minutes a day on maintenance.
He's so proud of that too.
And people blow their minds, right? So it's like, if you think about what that means, being able to spend 30 minutes a day on maintenance, it's capacity. Right, like he's famously told us that like he uses that to be able to just like spend evenings with his kids or whatnot. We've had other people say, well, I use that to go and get more business and grow the thing.
It's the classic entrepreneurial journey. Yeah. You started out to build this thing so it could create freedom of time, freedom of money to do the things that you want in life. Yeah. But then at some point you realize you got to wear all the hats and you have to have discipline and other skills that you didn't have before. Yeah. At some point you have to be an HR person, right? Yep. You have to be the BDM. You can't hire everything right out of the gate. And it's hard to get through those different stages for most companies.
This idea that Agentic is a hire and not just a tool, how do you see the market reacting to that? Do you think they're understanding that? Do you think there's a lot of skepticism around it?
Man, I know the answer. I just, it's just, it's a little sad when I think about it because it took so long to shift the mindset, which is still hard to shift to hire remote team members. Yeah. So it's even more difficult when it comes to AI. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get that.
So they're not there yet. The majority of the market hasn't figured that piece out yet.
No, I don't think so. But here's what's important. If you identify the who, if a company identifies the who, and you don't have to have a person that works for you. Yeah. I mean, the right partner, the right person that they trust in the industry, like us at BetterWHO.
100%.
Or Vendoroo, right? And you can ask them the questions. What AI is supposed to do is it's supposed to do the lifting. Yeah. And if you have somebody doing the lifting, then that creates the capacity, 100%. and you can start seeing the results. Yeah. So you have to find the right person that you trust.
That was the big. Creating that trust. So I think there's the right person that you trust. To me, since day one that I met you, I'm like, you're that person, right? Like you are the flag bearer of the industry of the person to trust on AI, right? And that was kind of like the impetus of our relationship. Afterwards, other stuff has happened. We've been really good friends.
Hey, listen, not too much.
Let's take it easy.
We had boundaries here.
Yeah, we got boundaries. Yeah. But that being said, I think it's that. There's the trust component. And I think there's nothing like experiencing it and touching it and then like validating it, right? Like that's why to me the whole narrative within the AI Pavilion was this idea of how do we inject this idea of AI can be your last hire for a job, have people interact with AI agents, and then vote on, hey, if this person walked in the door right now with this skill set and they told me that they were going to work 24/7 and never needed a day off, would I rate it an A player, B player, C player, D player? And we have the stats to prove it now, which I guess will go in the next State of AI report. 76% of property managers said that after interacting with an AI agent, this would represent an A hire. 18% B hire, 6% said C hire, nobody said D hire.
Yeah.
Right. So like I think to me we need to create some kind of like massive interaction moment where you can walk in there and be like, I'm going there with like the headspace of like, I'm going on a job interview. I just put out a job posting on LinkedIn. Now I'm going to talk to a couple people and then let's go talk to this like AI agent and see how it does its job. Because I think once people actually realize that this is here and that it can actually talk to people and have this different emotional intelligence, you got to kind of see it to believe it, no?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is here.
Yeah.
And the changes that are going to happen, here's the exciting news.
Yeah.
There's never been a better time for someone to start and grow a property management company.
Yes.
Because the efficiencies that you'll have right out of the gate,
correct,
and where we are in this market, it's like all of the perfect things are just aligning for the property management industry.
I think there's never been a better time to start a property management company with all these property management 3.0 AI native like org chart, tools, philosophy, capacity, and it's never been worse to be married to an old legacy software that's not allowing you to plug in new agents in and forcing you to wait for them to develop it or for somebody else to do it, because I like that to me is why I'm so high on like the Rentvine POV of just like being wide open, having open APIs. I think as vendors in the space, as technology providers in the space, it's your duty to be open and have APIs and be able to play well with others, because if you're going to hire somebody, it can't come with a login. Like the person that you hire has to be able to work in your system.
Now, can I tell you how AI within property management companies is going to change the perception of this industry as a whole?
Tell me more.
When I was selling real estate, I also had my property management company, and I would always say, real estate makes, it's good money, right? But property management, it's the sanitation business. It's the sanitation business of real estate. It's down and dirty, right? It's down and dirty. So it was always a tough business, and we've been getting compensated when there's problems, right? It's like you call a landlord, oh shoot, why is Jay calling me? Something's wrong. He wants
Most
to
people
charge
get anxiety
me
when they see their landlord's phone number on their phone. That's just real.
Absolutely. Yeah. And AI will change that, because when AI gets you back capacity, now you can increase your level of service. You have more efficiencies in place. So that means that your value exchange is different. And then when you make the shift, like our good friend Lior with Blanket, he's leading this narrative in the industry of flipping the script and now showing your investors that you're an asset manager, not a property manager. And adding value, being able to really focus in on how you can help somebody create legacy is powerful.
I agree, man. I think going from firefighter to wealth builder is going to be a very powerful piece. I also think that being able to go from like a task-based company, right? Because so much right now, like an average maintenance ticket takes 19 touch points, so many tasks, such like a infinite forever firefight of things. Once AI is able to eliminate 18 of those touch points and just let you be the human touch point, you're gonna go from a business that's built to take care of stuff to a wow business. Like I think property managers are gonna go into more of an experience business, relationship building, marketing, like all these kinds of like moments that people are gonna create. Kind of like Second Nature are moment makers, right? Like I think there's gonna be a big trend in becoming a moment maker in the industry as well, because you have the capacity.
Yeah, and people want to be around you when they feel good.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can be a company that makes people feel good, well, you'll never be looking for business.
Amen, brother. Jay, this has been fun, man. I can't wait till the next update on this at Nationals when we do the next AI Pavilion at Nationals. I've got some ideas already, man, that I've been cooking up.
It's going to be sick. The next virtual summit, AI virtual summit, is going to be in 2 months from now.
2 months.
And we have a couple of exciting partners that we're going to be announcing for the AI Alliance.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Man. Good stuff.